RuPaul's Drag Race.
Start your engine.
RuPaul's Drag Race. Best woman win.
Hi, I'm Stefan. This week on Gender Chat,
we're gonna pick our noses.
We're gonna talk about, I don't know, what are we gonna talk about?
We're gonna talk about gender.
We're gonna talk about gender, and gender, you have to say it's a different thing from sex, so get it straight.
Because this is what sex is. Just so you guys don't know, we're gonna give you a demonstration.
What?
Sex is what Rachel's doing with her other hand right now.
La la la.
Jonas is in my butt. If you don't like gay people, just don't let them in your butt. It's easy as that.
A YouTube commercial for that.
It's true.
Don't let them in your butt.
Simple.
Don't let them in your butt.
But I like gay people, so I let them in my butt. Hey everybody, it's Stefan here on Genderqueer Chat. This week we are talking about whether transgender and genderqueer issues should be included in the larger lesbian, gay, queer politics. There's a lot of controversy over this because a lot of lesbian, gay, bisexual people feel that gender is something separate than sexuality, and so having trans or gender issues in general part of the movement to accept people based on their sexuality is problematic. There's also people who are binary gendered trans people who don't necessarily want to be a part of queer politics. And then there's people like me who are queer, genderqueer, transgender, have a female lesbian history, and do want to be a part of the movement. So it's kind of hard to keep everybody happy, but I feel that you really can't have a lesbian, gay, bisexual, queer movement without trans people. If you think about what gay and lesbian people are targeted for on the streets with like hate crimes and stuff like that, most of the time it's not because they're caught having sex with someone of the same gender. It's because the guy is too femme or the girl is too butch. It's all down to gender. And how can you even define yourself as gay or lesbian without defining what the same and the opposite gender is? So, in my opinion, it all comes down to gender. So, having gender issues with trans and genderqueer people being a part of gay and lesbian politics just makes sense to me because it'll open up the door for everyone else. Apparently, I've heard that the first person to fight back in the Stonewall riots was a drag queen or a trans person, depending on the story. But I mean, it wasn't, your typical, I guess there's no such thing as typical, but I mean, it was a person who was gender variant. So, I mean, that's what sparked the modern gay and lesbian movement. So, in order to, be inclusive of everyone who has to fight the struggle, you have to, take everyone's issues seriously. And, I mean, resistance politics doesn't work when you just ignore, like, the one whole segment of the population. So, Yeah, I mean, if everybody has protections based on gender identity and expression, then that, is beneficial for everyone. Gay, lesbian, straight. I mean, it'll protect you if you're a little too femme, a little too butch. It'll protect you if people can't tell your gender. I mean, another argument about excluding trans and gender issues is that it's like too much to take on. Like, let's deal with gay marriage first, then we'll deal with trans stuff. If we, or like, with the ENDA, Employment Non-Discrimination Act, a lot of people felt, like specifically like the HRC and stuff like that, Human Rights Campaign. They felt that including gender in there was asking too much. But I mean, I personally think that's bullshit. Um, if you get the gender stuff out of the way, it clears up a lot of issues for other things. Like, we won't have to be, like, fighting for same-sex marriage if gender doesn't matter in marriage. So I really think that's what we should be pushing for, is the gender issue, because, it's like a bottom-up approach. Once you solve that bottom issue, like, everything else will just fall into place. But if we just, try like hacking one bit off the top and another bit off the top, it'll just take us forever to get to where we need to be. So, yeah, like, I mean, if you're if you're a binary identified trans person that doesn't want to be included in queer politics, then you don't have to join. But I don't think that it's right to exclude people because you don't know people's history. You don't know what people identify as, so just saying that like trans people don't belong is really stupid because there's tons of queer trans people, and the fact that gender is like the defining thing in like homosexual relationships. It's somebody of one gender or sex loving someone of another gender or sex. And if you can't define gender and you can't define sex and you don't deal with those issues, then how can you define yourself as gay or lesbian or homosexual or heterosexual or whatever? So, yeah, so I guess that's my 2 cents. And, alright, I guess that's it, and I will talk to you guys later. Alright.